What started as a collage of alien species for the Master Chief to fight against has, over the years, become an engrossed aspect of the Halo mythos. Iteration through iteration have given fans a clear picture of what these creatures are supposed to be. Grunts are cowardly, dim-witted cannon fodder, jackals are bestial predators with eagle-like vision, hunters are lumbering masses with little precision but devastating strength, and brutes are savage warmongers, fittingly named given how they brutalize their enemies, and elites are sleek and agile warriors, the one true equal to a Spartan. But, at least for me, the games rarely seem to reflect that, whether through engine limitations like in Halo 4, or through Russian oversight like in Halo 2. There's a lot that we can do with AI now. Processing power has come a long way since 2001. Ever since the beginning, Halo has done an incredible job making not only each species, but each rank distinguishable and easy to pick out in a crowd. Never once have I looked at a bunch of enemies in a hallway and confused a jackal for an elite, or a brute for a hunter. In no small part, it's because of their variety in shape, language, and color. Grunts are tiny, with big Popeye forearms, while jackals are stocky bird things that cower behind a shield. Elites and brutes are the big boys, but where elites are narrow and lithe moving across the arena, brutes stand like a brick wall and dare you to come into melee range. And beyond that, each rank, minor, major, and ultra, all have unique armor colors that are bright and make them stand out from each other. But despite being one unified military underneath the Covenant, their markings aren't consistent between the races, or even between the games. Like, the Grunts go orange minor, red major, white ultra through all the games, which is different from the Elite's blue minor, orange major, and white ultra. But then they have the green heavy in Halo 2 and Reach, but then the blue heavy in Halo 3 and 4, which is different from the Elite's yellow or purple heavy in Reach. And then they have the black Spec Ops in CE, but purple Spec Ops in 2, and then gray Spec Ops in 3, and then back to purple Spec Ops in Reach, which is different from the Elite's purple Spec Ops in 2, and then brown in Reach. And the Jackals don't have any rank differences at all, and the Brutes do something different in every game. In Halo 2, they're all just gray. In Halo 3, they go from blue for all ranks except for yellow for heavy and orange for chieftain. Halo Reach, everyone's gold except for the minors, which are blue again. Like, what the fuck? In a world where I'm given a magic stick and I get to rewrite all of Halo's history, that would be the first thing I'd address. Second would be gameplay. Again, each species has generally displayed a decent attempt at variety in combat. Grunts bunch up because where one plasma pistol isn't much to worry about, 5 will be scrambling for cover. Jackals spread far out and make it hard for you to hit them with their giant energy shields, or they're posted up on a ridge with a sniper rifle. Elites use strafing and dodging to dance around your gunfire, and brutes act as spongy melee deterrents. You do not want to get close to them. Hunters are unique in that they're generally only used as a mini-boss encounter with an arena setup so you can have a little more fun doing the circle dance you gotta do to hit their pack. Each species lends to a different kind of gameplay. Grunts are horde threats, jackals are precision targets, brutes are sponges. And elites are effectively aim training, which leads them to have interesting interplay depending on the quantity that you pair them with. It makes each encounter a separate gameplay puzzle. Who do I take out first? Who's the biggest threat? 10 grunts and 1 elite.
Kill, attack him. Overkill. Reinforcements
is vastly different from 10 elites and 1 grunt.
Game over.
Not just in health and damage values, but in how you engage with the AI, who also have some interesting ways of engaging with each other. Grunts are paired to a commander, and when that commander is killed, the grunts begin to panic. Some run around like a chicken with no head, flailing their arms in the air and babbling like a baby. Some go berserk and prime 2 grenades in their hands and run after you like a self-righteous suicide bomber, and some just go about shooting you as fast as they can. If you stick a grunt, they'll panic and run across to their closest friend hoping they can tear the thing off. Elites, on the other hand, stand still and scream at God before the big boom inevitably takes them. When you deplete a jackal's shields, they'll cover their head and retreat as far as they can before the shield recharges. But really, that's it. No other interesting interactions happen. Commanders don't care if their troops die. The AI doesn't engage with the environment at all. There's nothing really there. Most enemies are effectively the same. They all stand in a spot in the middle of the open, shoot you a few times, and step a couple of feet that way and repeat. Most of what makes them unique are simple animation differences. Elites will strafe to the side or roll across the floor, maybe dodge out of the way like the grunts do. Brutes scream when you take their armor off, just like the elites scream and break their shields. Grunts throw their arms around for basically every movement, and the Jackals just sort of stare. I don't feel like there's enough to make these guys really stand out from each other, thinking wise. Like, how do we know that a Grunt is dumb, or that an Elite is a legendary combatant? The Hunters are truly the most dynamic with their engagements, given how they throw environmental hazards around like boxes or vehicles. So, back to the magic stick. There are two ways I can go about this. I can try and be unique and make something unlike any other designer has before, or I can use what we know about the established canon and try and enhance it. For this challenge, I'm taking the latter approach. I think that Halo, being highly iterative, has, like comic book characters, established some soft rules that I'll do my best to identify and follow. And to me, it seems only fitting to start with the Grunts. They are the ones you'll be seeing the most after all. Color-wise, Grunts will be the one species that breaks my rule. Grunts are more of a prisoner class than a dedicated branch of the army, and I think keeping the minor rank orange will subtly emphasize that. Armor-wise, I feel like Halo 3's and Reach truly perfected the designs, so these guys will look largely as they have. Same old mask, same pointy backpack. Also, I think the chests being super wide helps make them look more alien. One of my only gripes with the Infinite Grunts, they look too proportional. And they'll only ever be equipped with plasma pistols. Majors will be clad in red, but otherwise will remain unchanged. These Grunts have proven themselves and are rewarded with slightly tougher armor and other one-handed weapons that the Covenant has, like needlers. Ultras are also very similar to their Reach incarnation, with a form-fitting helmet to protect them from the first headshot. These guys will get access to some heavier weapons, fuel rod guns and such, though they'll be inaccurate with them. They aren't trained with these weapons, unlike the Heavies. Their armor coated in shimmering green make them stand out from the other warm color comrades. They'll have a half mask that shield their eyes from the intense light of 5 fuel rod explosions going off at once. Their aim will be tried and true, nailing you from down the hall and making themselves a priority target, even for a Grunt. Spec Ops, on the other hand, are meant to be hard to see. Dark purple armor and a subdued face mask keep them hidden as they roam around your peripheries. Health and damage-wise, they'll be on par with a Major. The main difference will be in how they plan to fight you. Speaking of, let's address how the Grunts will fight. My goal for the Grunts is to make them a fodder enemy. They're meant to fill the arena and make easy targets for you to crack down on as you coast along the room. They aren't particularly bright, so they won't have great aim and they shouldn't have any interest in cover. They'll just sorta aye aye sir and stand around waiting for trouble. They'll be loud, bombastic, and animated. Their main goal will be to huddle together, and the Grunt's strength will be in their numbers. Minors and Majors will bunch up in the middle of the open. Ultras and Heavies will stick to the sides of the group, keeping a set distance away from the player the best they can. Spec Ops will attempt to flank the player, not doing anything sneaky like using cover, but letting their active camo do the work of hiding their assault until they're on either side of you. Interaction-wise, there's already a swath to work with. The way they panic and flee, the way they sometimes try the martyrdom approach, the way they sleep when they're on the front lines. These alone are a complete package of interesting features, but what if we added a little spice? Some Grunts could be incredibly clingy to their commanders, sticking by them and matching all of their targets. If you shoot a Grunt's methane tank off, they'll go spiraling and become a hazard to their allies. They also scatter the moment a higher ranking enemy comes close in an enraged state, looking to steer clear of being a potential casualty. Like I said, largely Grunts will remain unchanged. They've been the second most consistent race in all of the Halo games, and it's not my job to fix what ain't broken. The others, though? Oh boy, do I have stuff planned for them. So, how did I do? Is there anything you would have done differently? What's something I missed out on that I totally should have included? Let me know down below. And also, please